Our governor is changing New York State and how we do business in this state. And if you take a look at three key areas, from the property tax cap to shared services, to reducing the cost of government, through consolidation and sharing, and also reviving our downtowns. And it's working. The governor has taken on that challenge. I want to say to the Lieutenant Governor today is I want to thank Governor Cuomo, if you could pass that message along. We did see him last night at the Craft Beer Festival in Battery Park, and Roscoe, by the way, did win, which was a nice look at brewery. My thanks, and the thanks of the residents of the city of Middletown to Governor Cuomo and his commitment to ensuring opportunities across all of New York State communities. We look forward to working with all of our state and local partners on these projects to stimulate economic development and revive the city of Middletown, and specifically our downtown area as it relates to this project. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Governor of the State of New York, Kathy Hochul.
Mayor, I was in Battery Park as well, congratulating Roscoe.
I didn't see it.
I was there.
I was drinking.
You know, I was not going to blow you into your constituents, but clearly you were having a good time, as we all were. And again, celebrating Craft Brewery Week. And Mayor, you notice I have this test of, I can tell whether a downtown has really come back, and it's whether or not they have craft breweries. So that was part of our tour of equilibrium a short time ago, and Clemson and others. And so that to me telegraphs that you're redefining yourself, and you're saying, you know, we do want to attract younger people, but also empty nesters who like to go out and pretend we're younger people again. And those attractions are so important. So so congratulations to Roscoe as well. Senator Bonasek, it's great to see you outside the corridors of Albany and out in the real world, in this sense. And thank you for your efforts to keep this spectacular gem so alive in this community. And again, another sign of a life downtown is when you take care of the treasures that have been handed down to you. And so clearly this community has. And I want to thank, I think our county executive is here. Oh, there you go. I thought you said county executive. That's all right. He's got important things to do. That's all right. We're so happy to come in. And the common council members, the aldermen are here. Also the team from the RABC. I do want to thank you, Morgan and Jim. And Dylan is here as well, the governor's regional reps, wherever you are. And people from the Department of State and from ESD and from HCR. There's so many different state partners involved. And so I want to thank them. Also thank this community for believing in itself the way you have. And Mayor, one of the tests as to whether or not a community is going to win this competition, I'll go into that in a minute, was really whether there was the support behind the local leadership to execute it. Because you can have all the visions in the world, but it is your leadership where you've galvanized the support of your council and your community that got us to where we are today. So I want to give you a special shout out, Mayor. As you mentioned, under this governor, we're doing things a little bit differently. There was an era for literally decades when economic development decisions were made in Albany without input from the stakeholders, the real people who live out here, and I don't think that worked so well. And I say that as an upstater, because I think that there was a lot of focus on the city. That's great, but people forgot that there's a very large landmass called upstate New York. And we suffered from benign neglect for literally most of my life. And it was so refreshing to me, and I was a member of Congress when he was elected, but when the governor came to office, he recognized that we have to do something to jumpstart upstate, to make up for decades of just ignoring it. And so that's what this is about. And that's what the genesis of the Regional Economic Development Councils is. And you have a real powerhouse here in the Mid-Hudson area. I attend the meetings frequently. And this area has been successful in bringing over $475 million to the Mid-Hudson area with over 574 projects. That is that is so many ribbon cuttings, my scissors have worn out. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. So how are we doing this? We have the Regional Economic Development Councils going very well. We just, with the support of the Senate, the Assembly, have another $750 million. We're going to continue that. But last year, the governor said, what about these downtown areas where a significant infusion of money can really be transformative? So came up with the idea of the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. Last year, we announced the first 10 winners, one community in each of the 10 REDC regions. And I got to go out and go to a few, and the governor went to the rest. And to tell a community, based on the plan that they devised, I mean, this is your plan that you brought forward and told us how you wanted it to look, how this community should look in the future. Only 10 were funded, and Middletown was one of the winners. And that was the jackpot day for this community, when you were told that you would not have to spend decades piecing together little bits in a block here and there, a little project. You would have this once-in-a-lifetime infusion of $10 million to focus on your downtown area, capitalizing on the density, the great architecture, and I did another drive around this community. You have spectacular architecture. Your buildings, your facades can be magnificent, and I feel very confident in that. As well as making it walkable, making sure that there's a more diverse mix of the retail opportunities and the restaurants, and I really believe there is so much potential here, and I'll tell you why I also see this. I grew up in a village, about 15,000 people, a community that had seen better days, and sort of like Middletown here, which was really developed because of the railroad industry and the shoe manufacturers and the furniture manufacturing, and IBM was a big player here, and I even worked at the Ford plant across the border. I mean, this area had life. And all of a sudden, through competition, the jobs going away, the competition not just overseas for business, but also on the outskirts of downtown. I mean, the malls, the strip plazas. This phenomenon, the suburbanization of parts of our state really sucked the lifeblood out of these little downtown areas. And I had to have my own community, and that's why I ran for local office. My mother had a little flower shop in a village that was really getting run down. It was cute, 1800s. But you would just drive by and say, wow, it's a shame that we didn't make it. So I got involved in my local community. I started going to local meetings. I got involved with the committee to bring it back. And now that community, after literally 10 years of hard work, is on the map as a place that people go to as a model. I believe this community will be a model for others. And that's why I feel so optimistic about the vision that you have put forward. And I'm going to announce particular elements have been funded today. So to this community, congratulations, because this is your opportunity to redefine your future. And again, you have incredible natural resources, the mountains, the river is so gorgeous. This region is really on fire, and as more people are leaving the concentrated areas of New York City and finding their ways upward here, housing stock is coming back, but you have to have an alive downtown. And the plan you put forward will accomplish just that. And so I will go through some of the specifics, and I saw some of these when I was in town back in February, and I toured the brewery, and I do more than just tour breweries. I don't want to get everything. I actually go to a lot of wineries, too. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. So let me announce the 6 winning projects for the $10 million DRI award. First of all, we're going to connect downtown to the future Erie Way Park by transforming the Woolworth Building into a rail-to-rail commons. And that is going to be the catalyst. Yeah. That is what we needed to do. And I commend this community, because I was reading back articles, and in 2014, you're thinking of turning into a parking lot. And what a crime that would have been. You would have looked back and said, missed opportunity. And now it's going to have incredible life as we will rename it the Rail-to-Rail Commons. And it's going to be a corridor that connects downtown with the future Erie Way Park. It's going to help, the building is going to feature new retail space along North Street, as well as interior retail space. And you really have to get a mix of retail. That is important. And word will get out that there's now new revitalized space. I believe that will come, because with this $10 million, I believe will leverage millions and millions and millions of private sector dollars. That is really the impetus behind it. We're also going to help with the facades. Some of them are fabulous, some need a little love. That's a personal observation. So we're here to bring some love and some money. So the facade and storefront signage improvement program, well, it'll be an incentive. It'll be 75% grant with a 25% match from the owner, but we'll help them. It's not just here's some money. Let's help you have a common theme or a design, and that's what we did in my community. We had some really scary, ugly facades, and people were literally like, you know, a 6-pack of beer, you know, $3, you know, taped in the window, and cigarettes. And you just had, and I would walk through, I just like want to tear these down. And when we got the community together, and it was hard to bring everybody to have a common vision, once we did that, you can change people's, not just their view of their community, but their psychological feel about their community. And that's what I've seen happen. That is what's going to happen here. Within 3 to 5 years, you're going to feel very differently about this community. So it's going to be the signage as well. Streetscape improvements to promote pedestrian activity and foot traffic. We have to get that. We have to make sure people feel safe crossing the streets, that they feel they're connected. And this will include trees and plantings and green infrastructure, sidewalk accessibility, sidewalk furniture, which I think is a fancy way of saying a bench, bike lanes, racks, and lighting. And the bike racks are important as well as you try to get a community that young people feel connected to. A lot of people just don't want to use cars. And Uber is coming, by the way, too, so that's going to be transformative when you're trying to get home from equilibrium or it's a lot safer. Erie Way Park.
This is true.
We are going to design and develop Erie Way Park by transforming this vacant lot into a new civic space, and this will be the heart of downtown. 1.5-acre park will appeal to all ages. You're already working on the skateboard park. We talked about this. I brought a skateboard park to my town back in 2000. And what it did is it gave the young people who are sometimes a little out there, not always playing the traditional sports in high school and showing up on a ball field. I mean, they want to explore. And the business owners were going crazy in our community. So I said, what if we had a skate park, well-designed with their input? I had teenagers on my committee telling us, you know, the half pipes and the grinds and the rails they wanted. And then we got community support to help pay for it as well. So I commend you, because that is going to make a difference. Bring young people down in a safe environment where they can recreate, hang out with friends, and not be there in front of all the shops. So we're going to have the 2,000 square foot community pavilion, passive green spaces, as well as public art, which is exciting as well. Branding and wayfinding signage, that'll have the design of physical, web-based, and social media graphics, which will really sort of showcase the incredible retail and architectural assets in communities. And let's have a design team really do this. We can bring the pros in. You have the resources now. Develop a brand, a logo, a marketing theme that'll carry throughout. And that'll be kiosks and banners and websites and social media, a really concentrated effort to tell your great story. So we'll also make sure we have parking improvements. And this will improve James Street, Henry Street, and the courthouse parking lots. And creation of a new pocket park adjacent to the Thrall Library, which I thought was gorgeous, by the way. I love the library. I'm a big library fan. And what you did with the old train station, I mean, that was visionary. Whoever did that, well done. And so that is going to create another link between the Heritage Trail and North Street and the future Erie Way Park. How is that, ladies and gentlemen? How is that? This was your vision. This was your vision. And I plan on coming back often again for those groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings. But at the end of the day, you're not just doing it for yourselves. You're doing it for your children and your grandkids. Because they're going to look back and say, 2017, under Governor Andrew Cuomo, this is the year we made our comeback. Congratulations.
Hi, County Executives joined us also, and first Senator Bonasek, would you like to say a few words?
Very few, very few.
That's always good from a politician.
First of all, I want to thank the Lieutenant Governor for coming down here again and again and again. I want to thank the Governor, who always behaves in a bipartisan way, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to my district. When we talk about things that we need, he listens and he tries. And I would agree with you. In terms of upstate, they've had a depression. not a recession, a depression for many, many years. And he's using his best efforts to bring economic vitality upstate. And I've said that to him. And last but not least, I cannot leave the podium without thanking our great mayor and his leadership team. When you're a mayor and you have a leadership team, you have many challenges when your jurisdiction is a city. Joe has done a wonderful job with his talent, his vision, and he's only getting started. Thank you all.
I knew it was a good idea to bring me up here. Also, our county exec, Steve Newhouse, is here, and you know, as part of this, and Lieutenant Governor touched on this, how it's going to leverage more money coming into the community. We all seem to forget sometimes that for 21 years we tried to bring the Heritage Trail into the city of Middletown from Goshen, and for 21 years we failed. And it wasn't we, the city, it was the decision makers on the county level that refused to fund and to actually move the project along. Steve Newhouse, within his first year, committed to me personally that it would work, and he would make it work, and he did. So part of our downtown revitalization, when we talk about some of these projects, like the Ward Building connecting Erie Park with the Heritage Trail, it's due to his commitment that he made early on in this term, and I want to say thank you to you, and if you'd like to come up and say a few words.
Baby watch. My wife is due any day now, so I know I missed you last week at the Women of Distinction, but you're a rock star. So I'm running a little bit of John Bonasek last week saw me with my little kid. I'm at breakfast meetings. Maureen's seen the same thing over the last few weeks, so I appreciate you being here, Lieutenant Governor. And I was thinking that we should probably ask either the city historian or the county historian to see in history. I've never seen somebody here as much as you and the governor. We were at a press conference a few months ago with the governor announcing the interchange in Harriman, which is going to help the casino, which we hope to get city residents and county residents working. We know they're going to be there. We're going to be opening a school to train people in the city to work at the casino. And Joe, you know, they were talking about Indigo when you were making pasta sauce at your restaurant, and I was a toddler. And he ate
Not that much older than you.
But you were working for your parents, all right? So. And, you know, we negotiated that. I'm looking at Jacob Tweel and all the guys here. Is Richie Curtin here too? Is he hiding here? Or is he off today?
No, he's
it's okay. He's on vacation. So we negotiated that. We had a crazy time. Like, our staff was going over all the fine ice, and Joe and I kept doing the same thing we always do. Just get it done. So I'm very proud of that. And Heritage Trail, I live on it in Chester, and there's thousands of people a day that are on that trail. It's an awesome thing. We're going to meet halfway in Goshen once this thing's done. But it is a beautiful thing. It's going to transform Middletown. The Toros College, I mean, there's so much stuff to be proud of. And I know the governor, she cares about this, and I know the senator's proud of it, Miguel. But there's one other thing we forgot to mention is law enforcement. You have one of the best police departments in the Hudson Valley. Without keeping the city secure and safe, you're not going to get people to invest here. You're not going to get families that want to live here. It's a night and day difference in Middletown than a lot of other cities, and you are a role model. We talked to Port Jervis and Newburgh, which are cities in my county, and we talked about how you could be pro-business. Talk to Joe DiStefano and his team. When a business comes here, Maureen knows this, how can we help you? When can you start? When do you need a building permit? As opposed to red tape. That's a big difference. So, Joe, it's great to be a partner, and Lieutenant Governor, you're awesome. I'm happy that you're here all the time. We have to, the next meeting should be at the Equilibrium, because it's all here Miguel and him talking about, and I think that would be accommodating. We saw it all, but it was under construction. We wanted to see it when we can actually have a burger and maybe a drink. So,
we're in.
Thank you for having us here, and I appreciate you being a partner.
You're lucky my mother's not here, because I never made the sauce. You take her credit, boy, she's really going to have it. She's 88 and she'll still take a swing at you.
Tell her Miguel said.
Yeah, I'll tell her. Really, this, Lieutenant Governor, this is a transformational moment for the city, as you mentioned, and we are just so proud that you continue to come back to our city, and we want to say thank you to you, and a big thank you to Governor Cuomo, and thank everyone for coming, and it's just been a great, fantastic trip for the last 16 months through this process. And in the RETC, we're going to see you again for the CFA rounds, and we hope you're as friendly to us then as you've been in the past. So thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the day.